Hello dear friends, Namaskara and hearty welcome. In the previous video, we have covered benefic and malefic planets for the ascents from Aries to Virgo. Now let us continue that series with Libra and end with Pisces. Now let us take Libra ascendant. This is ascendant. Here we have to put number of the sign, that is 7 in North Indian chart. This indicates Libra ascendant in North Indian style chart. Now let us discuss which are good and bad planets for this ascendant. This is a tricky situation. Venus owns Libra as well as 8th house Taurus, but Libra is Mula Trikona also, a trinal lord, owner of Mula Trikona here, and 8th house, which is a very bad house. So strictly he is not a benefic, and being Lagna lord, we don't take him as a bad planet also. This we may consider as neutral or mildly benefic. Now let us come to second house. Second house is Scorpio, lord is Mars. He also owns 7th house of Aries. He is owner of 2 Maraka houses, so no dispute. He is a malefic for Libra ascendant. Now let us come to third house. Third house is Sagittarius, owned by Jupiter. He also owns 6th house of Pisces. So third and sixth lord, no question, he is a malefic. Now let us come to fourth house. Fourth house is Capricorn, owned by Saturn. He also owns 5th house of Aquarius. So he owns an angle and a trine. He is a Yoga Karaka for Libra ascendant. We have discussed up to these houses. This also we have covered. Now let us come to, this is 9th house. Pardon me. So Mercury owns 9th and 12th houses. 9th is angle, 12th is a mildly malefic house or bad house. So overall trinal lordship prevails. So we can consider him as a benefic for this ascendant. 10th house is owned by moon, that is Cancer. Ownership of angles for good planets reduces their beneficence. So this we can consider as neutral. 11th house of Leo is owned by Sun. 11th is the strongest Trishadaya lord. So for this ascendant, Sun is a malefic, and also Venus and Sun are natural enemies. Now this completes our discussion on good and bad planets for Libra ascendant. Now let us come to Scorpio ascendant, which also gives a problem. So we will write ascendant here and we will put 8th here. So this means Scorpio is the ascendant. Let us start with Scorpio. Scorpio lorded by Mars. Mars also lords 6th house of Aries. So Lagna lord and Trishadaya lord. This is Mula Trikona. So Parashara doesn't consider him a benefic. Modern scholarship is slightly different. So we don't take him as malefic. He may not be a great benefic. We may say slightly benefic. Second house is Sagittarius, lorded by Jupiter. He also lords over Pisces, which is 5th house. This is a trine. This is a Maraka house. This is his Mula Trikona. Mula Trikona should dominate as per Parashara. We are taking this as mildly benefic planet for Scorpio ascendant. Now let us come to third house. Third house is a Trishadaya house, owned by Saturn. He also owns fourth house of angle. And angular ownership for malefic planets is good because that maleficence comes down. But still, because of this Trishadaya ownership, we consider this as malefic. We had discussed up to this house. Now, seventh house is Taurus, owned by Venus. He also owns 12th house of Libra. Seventh house is Maraka. 12th house is a mildly malefic. So, this is malefic for Scorpio. Eighth house is Gemini and 11th house is Virgo, both owned by Mercury. Eighth is a bad house. 11th is strongest Trishadaya bad house, the lordship. So Mercury is malefic for this Scorpio ascendant. Now let us come to Cancer, which is ninth house for Scorpio. Ninth is a trinal house, strongest trinal house. So Moon becomes a very good benefic for this ascendant. Now 10th house. 10th house is owned by Sun. Ownership of angles for natural malefics is a good. So this we consider not exactly benefic, but we say neutral to benefic, neutral to slightly benefic. This ends our Scorpio ascendant. Now let us discuss. Next is Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is ninth house. So ninth comes here and ascendant comes here. Sagittarius Pisces, two angular houses owned by Jupiter. He is Lagna Lord and Sagittarius is Mula Trikona. So overall we'll take Jupiter as benefic for this Sagittarius ascendant. Second house and third houses are owned by Saturn. Second house is Maraka, third house is Trishadaya. Trishadaya is also Mula Trikona. So this is malefic for Sagittarius ascendant. Now let us look at the fifth house. Fifth house is owned by Mars, which is his Mula Trikona, and he also owns mildly malefic or house, 12th house of Scorpio. So trinal and mildly malefic 12th house, this is Mula Trikona. So Mars we consider as benefic for Sagittarius ascendant. Let us come to sixth house. Sixth house is Taurus, lorded by Venus. He also lords over Libra, which is 11th house. 6th and 11th are two Trishadaya houses. So Venus is malefic for Sagittarius ascendant. Now let us look at seventh house. Seventh house is Mercury, is Gemini owned by Mercury. He also owns 10th house of Virgo, which is Mercury's Mula Trikona. So Ubhaya Kendradipatya dosha kicks in, and thus he is not a benefic, he is a malefic for this ascendant. For Sagittarius ascendant, Cancer is 8th house. So Lord of 8th Moon is not considered good for this, and he is a malefic planet for Sagittarius ascendant. This is 9th house of Leo, owned by Sun, strongest trinal house. He is a benefic for Sagittarius ascendant. I hope you are following my logic. Okay, I am combining Parashara as well as modern scholarship and other authors to arrive at my judgment of good and bad planets for each of the ascendants. Now let us move to Capricorn. This is Capricorn ascendant. So Capricorn is 10th house, 10th sign. So 10 comes here. This is Capricorn ascendant in northern charts. Let us discuss house by house. Lagna Lord is Saturn. He is also the second Lord. Second is also Mula Trikona. second is a Maraka, but still we take Saturn as mildly benefic for this ascendant. Third house is owned by Jupiter, that is Pisces is owned by Jupiter. He also owns 12th house, which is a bad house. So Jupiter is a malefic for Capricorn ascendant. Now let us come to fourth house. Fourth house is Aries, 11th house is Scorpio, both are owned by Mars. 11th is strongest Trishadaya, so Mars is a malefic for Capricorn ascendant. Let us come to fifth house. Fifth house is Taurus owned by Venus, and he also owns 10th house of Libra, which is Mula Trikona. So one trine and one strong angle. So he is Yoga Karaka for this Capricorn ascendant. Sixth house is Mercury, who also owns 9th house of Virgo. Sixth house is Gemini owned by Mercury. He also owns 9th house of Virgo, which is his Mula Trikona. So 9th and 6th, on balance, Mercury is a benefic for Capricorn ascendant. Now let us look at 7th house. 7th house is Cancer owned by Moon. 7th is a Maraka, so Moon is not a benefic, he is a malefic for this ascendant. 8th house is Leo owned by Sun. 8th is a strong malefic house, and there are also natural enemies. So Leo is Sun is a malefic planet for this Capricorn ascendant. Logic is simple. Overall, we are taking, despite owning another bad house, we are not taking Lagna Lord as a malefic for any planet, because he is the driver of the vehicle of this life, of the native's life. So that's why we are not taking any Lagna Lord, even if he owns 8th house or 6th house, we are not taking him as malefic for the ascendant, if not a benefic. Now, Aquarius. Aquarius is the ascendant. So here comes 11th. This is Aquarius in northern charts. Let us look at this. Aquarius is owned by Saturn, which is his Mula Trikona also, and 12th house of Capricorn also happens to be owned by Saturn. So one bad house and this Lagna Lordship. So we take Saturn as benefic for Aquarius ascendant. Let us come to second house. Second house is Pisces, owned by Jupiter, here, which is a Marakasthana. 11th house, strongest Trishadaya, is also owned by Jupiter. So Jupiter is a malefic for Aquarius ascendant. Now let us come to third house. Third house is Aries, which is Mula Trikona of Mars, and Mars also owns 10th house of Scorpio. So this lordship of third house prevails because of Mula Trikona, and Mars is a malefic for this Aquarius ascendant. Fourth house. Fourth house of Taurus is owned by Venus. He also owns 9th house, which is a trine of Libra. So he is owner of one angle and one trine. He is the Yoga Karaka for this Aquarius ascendant. Venus is Yoga Karaka for this ascendant. We will discuss in future course the significance of Aquarius Lagna and Scorpio Lagnas. Now let us come to fifth house. Fifth house is Gemini, owned by Mercury. He also owns 8th house, a malefic house, which is Mula Trikona for Mercury. Mercury owns 5th and 8th houses. So on balance, he is not a strong benefic. Can be considered maybe, but Mula Trikona, if Mula Trikona dominates, we will take it as neutral, let us say. 6th house is Moon, Trishadaya house. So he is not a benefic at all for this ascendant. 7th house is Leo, owned by Sun. So ownership of angular houses for malefics is gives a neutrality. This we may consider a neutral this thing for this ascendant. Now let us come to the last ascendant, that is Pisces. Since Pisces is the ascendant, we put 12 here and ascendant here. We'll start with Pisces. Lord of Pisces is Jupiter. He also owns 10th Lord, 10th house of Sagittarius. So Ubhay Trikona quality is there, but still, and this is also his Mula Trikona, but still we'll take Jupiter as mildly benefic for this ascendant. Second house is Aries, a Mula Trikona of Mars. This is a Maraka house, but he is also owner of the 9th house, that is Scorpio, the strongest trinal house. So this prevails, and Mars is a benefic for this ascendant in my opinion. Now third house is Taurus, 8th house is Libra, both owned by Venus. So 8th house is a bad house, this is a Trishadaya house. So Venus is not a good planet for Pisces ascendant, he is malefic. Now let us come to 4th house of Gemini. Gemini and Virgo are owned by Mercury. So Ubhay Kendradipatya, 2 angles. So he is not a benefic for this ascendant. We'll treat him as malefic only. So 5th house is Cancer, owned by Moon. He doesn't own any other house. So as a trinal lord, he is a benefic for this ascendant. Now let us come to 6th house. 6th house is Leo, owned by Sun, a Trishadaya house. So it is malefic only. That is this completes our analysis of malefic and benefic planets, or bad and good planets for each of the ascendants. I hope I am clear, my logic is clear, though it may be in deviance with old scholarships or old sages at times. I hope you have liked this video, and in case you have liked it, I request you to subscribe to my channel by pressing the bell button. I shall endeavor to keep on posting videos on important and interesting astrological topics in the days to come by. Have a nice day, and thank you.